I'm GREYMOND. I'm an expert in OCD recovery because for the last 19 years, I've been helping people fully recover from OCD. If you would like to do personal coaching with me, all the information is on youhaveocd.com. You can sign up from there. Today, I wanted to talk to you a little bit more about exposures. So when you go to a standard person who says they can help you with OCD, which I suggest not because I'm already going to tell you what they're going to do. They're going to do exposures, scripting, and hierarchy. That is, there are three things that they know how to do. Outside of that, they can't help you. Rumination, they don't know what that is. They don't have they don't put a big emphasis. Sometimes they put a little bit of an emphasis on it, but not much. Anyways, I choose to disregard. But this one point I really wanted to make is whenever you're signing up for an exposure, you're signing up for response prevention. And it is critical that going into the exposure, because your therapist, coach, whoever they are, might not understand this or might not put an emphasis on this. So I am, for you, putting an emphasis on this, that you're doing exposure in order to do response prevention later. So the exposure is not the important part. The response prevention is the important part. Do you know what I mean? So it's the reason for us to even be doing exposure is to induce response prevention. That's what's healing you. Not the exposure is healing you. The response prevention is healing you. And like the response prevention is healing you, the response a lot can make you worse. So you better be sure or fairly sure that when you are doing an exposure, you are going to do response prevention afterwards. So again, the point of exposure is to do response prevention. I just want you to understand that very clearly, especially if you're new to recovery, because a lot of the times I hear this from clients all the time, what they did with their old counselor or therapist or whoever, is they're like, well, the therapist would do these exposures with me and send me home, and then I will be falling apart at home. In that situation, the person actually made themselves worse. They took a step back in their recovery. They did not take a step forward. So just because they went to a therapist, they did it in office, they paid for the session, it doesn't mean that they took a step forward. In fact, what they did afterwards made them take a step back. So I just want you to be very cautious of that. And again, I've already talked at length about on-purpose exposures, that without addressing rumination, without addressing what you're doing the rest of the day, with other life exposures or thoughts that are coming in, you will never recover with just on-purpose exposures alone. But if we take on-purpose exposures as an individual unit, this is the one thing that you need to keep in mind. Thank you for listening. If you have not subscribed, please subscribe. If you would like to do private coaching with me, please sign up through youhaveocd.com. I'll see you tomorrow.